Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Tarot Tea Time. So, I know that the Grammys were last weekend, but I still think that there are some questions around the whole, Taylor Swift of it all. What happened at the Grammys with her? There was, of course, as always, she's like the top story of any event, anything she's a part of. But I wanted to see like what really happened, with the Grammys. So we're going to look at three different situations. We're going to look at her relationship with Celine Dion, what really allegedly for entertainment purposes happened there. We're also going to look at the whole Lana Del Rey situation and see just like what really happened. How did Lana really feel when she was brought up on stage to celebrate Taylor's Grammy, even though she lost in the same category, essentially losing the Grammy to Taylor? Although she did write a song and work with Taylor on one of the songs. I don't know if she wrote it, but she worked with Taylor on one of the songs on Taylor's Grammy winning album. So, there's just people, there's a lot of gray area there. And I'm going to keep my thoughts to the side as much as possible because I love Taylor. I'm a huge Swiftie, 1000%. And I just want to be neutral and let the tarot tea do the talking. So I'm just going to zip it on my personal thoughts. And then with Olivia Rodrigo, people were saying that Taylor was dancing and singing and really enjoying herself while Olivia was on stage singing Vampire, which people have suspected is about is about Taylor. Now, when I did the reading on the two of them and I really looked at their birth charts, I was thinking that it probably is about Taylor. That was in a previous podcast episode. Y'all can check that out if you'd like. But I just want to see, how things evolved and do a tarot reading just to get the tarot tea truth. Let's get into it. I'm excited. Okay, let's start with Celine Dion, whom I just love so much. She will always have a special place in my heart. I was so excited to see her at the Grammys. She's suffering from stiff person's disease, and I just hope that she continues to thrive and she's just a beautiful spirit. So, okay, let's see what happened. So, a lot of people said that Taylor looked like she snubbed Celine when she went up to accept her award. And I will say that after watching the tapes, rolling the tapes, it did look like Taylor was not engaged with Celine. I mean, I think that that's pretty universal if you watch. Now, some people were saying that this is because, Taylor was just overwhelmed in the moment. Some people were saying that she was told not to hug her on stage. And then because of, Celine Dion's condition, she was kind of worried about that. I don't know. I feel like you could have looked her in the eye and said thank you, but who knows? Taylor is a Sagittarius sun, and Sagittarian people can sometimes be just like that, like very all over the place, especially when they get excited. It's like an energy, ruled by Jupiter that's kind of hard to contain, even for them. So let's just see. Let's see what her relationship is like with Celine Dion. That picture that is on this thumbnail is the picture that they took off stage afterward. And it did seem like kind of a PR thing, trying to smooth it over. So let's just see. Okay. How did Celine Dion feel after presenting Taylor with the award? How did Celine Dion feel as she walked off stage? How did Celine Dion feel? Seven of Pentacles. Okay. She felt like it was hard work. She felt like she respected Taylor's hard work and hustle. Um, I like this. This is really seeing how hard others have worked. Like I said, I think Celine is such a nice person. So, okay, interesting. How else did Celine feel? I'm getting goosebumps. That's confirmation. Oh, did you guys see that fly? Oh my God. Oh, okay. She also felt a little bit like the hermit. Like not seen, isolated a little bit. That makes me so sad, you guys. I do not want to cry. Yeah. Celine Dion felt a little bit like the hermit, a little bit left out, which is really sad. But that makes sense. So she Was proud of Taylor, admired her hard work, but also felt a little bit left out of the fun, of the joy. She didn't really feel like included. She felt kind of like the hermit energy, which I think is something that she probably has been feeling a lot lately because of what she's been going through medically. Okay, so let's take a second. We're going to send Celine a lot of love, lots of big hugs. Maybe we can go over to her Instagram and comment nice things. I know a lot of people do, but it never hurts to put some more love in the air, put that good energy out. Okay, that makes sense though. All right, so we're going to leave that there. She just felt a little lonely, but proud of Taylor. How did Taylor feel? Um, let's just see how she felt about winning. Because also in Taylor's speech, she really gave it back to the fans, as she always does, which I think is why people love her so much. It's very reaching for your Aquarius North Node. But she also didn't really acknowledge Celine. And Jay-Z had made that speech as well about some people not deserving it. So maybe she also felt a little uncomfortable. I don't know. Let's just let the tarot tea, allegedly for entertainment purposes, let's let the tarot tea talk. What was Taylor feeling up on stage? Two of Wands. Okay, that makes sense. Forward focused, very forward focused. The Two of Wands, if you can see, this person has the whole world in their hands on this card, and they are looking to the future with passion, holding two wands. So, I don't think that it was an intentional snub, to be honest with you. I think she just, oh my God, how do I say this? Feels like she has the whole world in her hands at this moment, feels on top of the world. I think that's accurate. And it's like, I can't lose. And she really was thinking about the future. She was very focused on announcing this new album. I think that there were a lot of things going through her mind. None of them really focused on, okay, this is also about like not living in the moment in a way, because it's like in the moment you're really thinking about the future. So when you're one track mind thinking about the future, you can miss details in the present moment, like acknowledging the person that is handing you the award. If you're already thinking about the next thing, you can see how someone would just move on, like, okay, I got to get this right. You're just going to take it and go. And I think that's describing like the reaction, the intention, why we saw things the way that we did. And I think that she was nervous, excited about announcing her future plans of this new album coming out. Okay. How does she feel about Celine Dion? How does Taylor feel about Celine Dion? Allegedly for entertainment purposes, of course. Temperance. Okay. I was so nervous. I'm like, what is going to come out? Love it. Okay, Temperance. She actually has like admiration for her. Temperance is like the angel. It's an angel card. This person's kind of like an angel wearing white, but also it's about balance. And she really sees Celine Dion as almost like this angelic kind of figure. Allegedly, she sees her as like just someone who's kind of like above all reproach. Like she really does admire her and think she's just like beautiful energy of this like angelic card that we see here. But also the temperance card is like this balanced energy. So there is also this thought in her mind of like, man, I wish I would have been able to stay more balanced in that moment with her. Um, and if you look at these two cards, this is the energy state someone's in. Two of Wands, really focused on the next thing that they're about to do, trying to focus on their speech, trying to focus on delivering things the right way, wanting to say the right thing, really in their head and already in the next moment before this moment has closed, has really been tied in a bow. She really wishes that she would have been able to be more temperate, more, this is about balance. She wanted to be more balanced in that moment. Like, like it's regret for sure. Like Celine is so awesome. Like that was not a reflection of how she views her, like what she wanted her to feel. So I do think that also this temperance card is about balancing things out. So I think that she also said things to Celine in private after the fact that have balanced out the connection. So I do not think that there is any bad blood lingering. I don't think that bad blood, oh my God, a Taylor Swift song. That's hilarious. But I don't think that there is anything lingering. So people who were speculating that she did this intentionally or whatever, according to the Tarot Tea Truth, allegedly, I would say that is not the case. She was very focused, while Celine Dion did have a quick moment of hermit energy where she felt a little bit separate. And I think we did see that on stage. it's been smoothed out, and I think that she was able to balance the situation out by making her real feelings known and telling Celine how she really felt and how she admires her. So, okay, I feel better after that. That was what I was most nervous about because it was just, it was such a thing right after it happened. Okay, one down, next situation. All right, so now we are going to talk about Taylor Swift and Lana Del Rey. And we're going to end with Olivia Rodrigo, the most, in my opinion, the most juicy one, because that's the one that I think really could be something. But I just love Celine, so that was a lot. So before we talk about what the tarot truth is about the situation, let's look at Lana Del Rey's birth chart because, as Taylor said in her speech, she said that she's in her prime. She said that Lana is like such a great talent, truly like a visionary. And she was just so complimentary about Lana Del Rey. And Taylor Swift is also in a position now where she doesn't have to work with anybody that she doesn't truly want to work with. My brother's a musician as well. And like, I just know how important it is for him. Like we've talked about it when he collaborates with somebody, like it's really important that they have a good rapport, like an actual genuine connection and an ability to create something together. And you don't have that with everybody. There have been great people that he's worked with where they haven't been able to produce certain sounds or songs that they need to. And then other people, it really is a fit. So I think that this is an energetic connection. It's an energy. So I do think that they have a deep friendship and admiration for one another. I think you have to have that as a foundation. And at that level, when you can choose who you work with, I just think that kind of confirms it. So hold on. Okay, need a sip of my special tarot tea here. All right, so Lana Del Rey's birth chart. Lana Del Rey was born in New York City on June 21st, 1985 at 4:47 p.m. And this is the accurate birth time. I am so excited. I love when we have the accurate birth time for somebody. So here is her birth chart. She has her sun in Cancer. She has her Venus in Taurus. Jupiter's in Aquarius. She also has her Chiron in Gemini. And she's a Scorpio rising, just like Taylor. Now, okay, she also has her moon in Leo. Now, moon in Leo people, they have this desire, in their hearts. The moon is like your heart, your emotions, your core being. They have this desire to experience Leo energy. Now, with Taylor having her south node in Leo, that means that they both have this connection between their south node placement, a south node moon connection, basically. And so that could be a past life connection between the two of them. Not to get deep, but of course, we always get deep around here. And the past life connection of the moon energy is really a deep one. This can indicate a mother daughter relationship. I know this sounds crazy, but it can indicate a mother daughter relationship, a close friendship, or that in a past life they went through something very emotional together. Now, this energy can be a natural fit, a natural flow, also very creative if you're wanting to make music together. I think that a south node moon connection would just really facilitate an easy flow of emotional dialogue, emotional communication. So we can really see why that would work so well. But it can also feel a little bit heavy and a little bit draining at times because, it's heavy. Our south nodes can be heavy sometimes, depending on what's going on. And then her midheaven is in Leo. So she is seen as this, famous, glamorous, romantic individual. Having the same ascendant as Taylor makes them a natural friend, a natural friend connection as well. So really what I'm seeing is a lot of like friend connections that make sense. A Cancer sun also, Cancers are very emotional, very sensitive, just like Jacob Elordi though. There is this energy where if they feel hurt or like they feel sad about something, they tend to go inward first. So that kind of explains why even though she has this Leo midheaven, which is associated with an amazing performer, really an extroverted energy, someone who belongs on the stage, and who's very glamorous. At the same time, having this sun in Cancer makes it so that it's a little bit different than other, Leo midheavens. This is your extroverted introvert. This is definitely going to explain why when she didn't win, she didn't really want to go up there. People noticed that she was uncomfortable. And I don't necessarily know if that's because of Taylor or because of that situation. I think that in general, it might be hard for her to get up on stage if she feels disappointed by not winning that award, especially with that Leo midheaven. Those people do have a lot of pride. Can't help it. It's just kind of part of their makeup. So I just wanted to give a little bit of that background. Last thing to note before we do her tarot reading, she has her Chiron in Gemini in the eighth house. Now, I did a lot of reading about about Lana, and I looked at just her relationships and things like that. And she has been in a couple of serious relationships that she's had some things to say about them. It seems like she's been very hurt in relationships in the past, and she was engaged not too long ago. And that engagement, was called off, and she is single now. So I think that she's been one of those people that has experienced a lot of melancholy in love. And having Chiron in the eighth house, which is deep bonding and shared resources, also can rule marriage. That explains a lot. I think that she's been really learning through that. Also, Chiron in the eighth house can describe partnerships of like a business variety, business type of partnerships, deep friendships, anything where you are combining resources with someone and creating a song, that you're monetizing, that would fall under the eighth house, partnering on something like that with Taylor. So Chiron there indicates this placement where you may experience wounding, and you were supposed to overcome that by Gemini energy, Gemini and Chiron. And that is learning to communicate more, learning to share more of your thoughts and feelings in those close relationships. That is what heals you, because in the past, either in childhood or past life, usually both in my experience, because childhood can be like lingering from past lives. We're still like dealing with that energy, which is why I think some people go through a lot in childhood, as it's kind of lingering from a past life. Um, she maybe never, maybe she never felt heard. Maybe she was shut down when she would try to communicate her feelings and thoughts in her close relationships, her family relationships. Maybe in her first deep love relationship, she felt like she couldn't really be herself, wasn't really appreciated for who she is. That Gemini wound is very deep. That's where my Chiron is too. And it is about that. I've experienced it. So I can relate that you can have difficulty really expressing yourself in that area, whatever house it falls in. Okay. With that being said, let's look at the tarot truth allegedly behind what happened and how Lana Del Rey felt when she was pulled up on stage, allegedly by Taylor. Let's see how she really felt. And what was Taylor's intention, according to the tarot tea? Let's start with Taylor's intention, okay? Get a little sip of my tarot tea before we get into this. I am nervous yet again. Oh man, here we go. And I really just want it to be good because I love Taylor. And I love Lana Del Rey also. Oh my God, not the whole deck about to fall out of my hands. What was that? Okay. The energy's intense around this one. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So let's see what happened. Oh my God, now I'm really nervous. What were Taylor's intentions? Pulling Lana Del Rey up on stage. Okay. We shall live another day. Four of Wands. Okay. This is to celebrate with your friends. Well, really, and Four of Wands to me, this is like a marriage card. So it's also like this would be an eighth house energy. Four is also about stability and a foundation. And these two people are dancing and celebrating. So I love this. This is so sweet. Truly, the intention was to celebrate with her, wanting her to feel celebrated, wanting to make sure that she also experiences the feeling of achievement, because she did work on a song with Taylor that was on this Grammy winning album. And so when she accepted it, she was like, I want to celebrate with everybody who made this, who made this with me. So really like wanting her friends to all feel the glow of, the Grammys glow energy. I love that. This is so Taylor living in her North Node of Aquarius, which is the humanitarian sign. It is sharing with everyone. From that Leo South node of wanting to be the only one on the stage shining to the Aquarius North node of having everyone on stage with you. That is beautiful. So yes, love it, love it. Okay. Living your North node, Beautiful. Okay, so but just because someone has a positive intention, it doesn't mean that everybody experiences it as positive because we all have our hangups. And with Lana Del Rey having Chiron in the eighth house, um, maybe this was hurtful. We'll see. So, how did Lana feel? What was her experience? What was Lana Del Rey's experience that night? And let's pull a card for her future and see if, she's going to experience a boost and maybe win a Grammy in the future. Let's just see. Okay. How did Lana Del Rey feel? How did she feel being pulled up on stage? Wow. Okay. Now this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. Five of Wands. This is the competition card. I do not like this, but we're gonna just have to read it like it is. So the Five of Wands is competition, all about being competitive. I don't like this at all. I think that, oh my god, I hate to say this, but I think that when she lost, there was a competitive feeling that came up within her of, not wanting to lose, obviously. And I think that when she was brought up on stage, it was hard for her to feel excited. You know how people are saying, like, oh, they feel bad for her because she looked uncomfortable. I don't necessarily know if she was uncomfortable because she was shy. I think that she was uncomfortable because she was a little bit angry. Yeah, like just doesn't like to lose. Let me look at her Mars sign real fast. I don't know if I read that. Where is her Mars sign? I'm big on that type of energy okay, her Mars is in Cancer. Oh, she has her Mars conjunct her sun. Okay. Okay. So people with their Mars conjunct their sun, if you think about it, the sun illuminates things, and the sun is also like your ego. And if you have your Mars conjunct your sun, it's really hard to hide your emotions because the light of the sun is going to illuminate how you really feel. And so Mars energy, it's like when you're kind of pissed off, it's how you act. So Mars in Cancer people, when they're angry, they go in their shell. So I think that this was a little bit more of like anger, could have been a little bit of jealousy. I hate to say that, and I'm just reading the cards. I hate to say that, but hey, it's only human to experience a little bit of that. Doesn't mean that that's how she feels long term. Sometimes, we're all human. We have a momentary flash of a certain type of feeling that we're able to overcome. But in the moment, that was the general energy. I think it's understandable, though. Like I said, we're all human. It never feels good to lose something. Okay, so that's how she felt. How does she feel now about Taylor? Let's just see. How does she feel now about Taylor? And I think Taylor was really trying to prevent that because I think she understands that that's how someone would feel. So she was trying to get her to celebrate and feel a part of it, not feel competitive. Five of Wands is competing against people. What's funny is we have Four of Wands and Five of Wands. So Four of Wands is wanting to celebrate with people. Five of Wands is wanting to compete against people. So is what it is. But Chiron in the eighth house, I mean, again, that's what she may be overcoming. Needing to learn to be healthy when it comes to partnerships. Not judging. Again, we all have it somewhere. Okay. How does she feel now about Taylor? How does Lana Del Rey feel now about Taylor Swift? Page of Pentacles in reverse. She feels, okay. She feels like Taylor's ahead of her in a lot of ways. I really don't like this reading. Okay. Instant regret. Because the Page of Pentacles in the upright would be like immature, like someone who's like just starting out, building their wealth, just starting out in their career. In the reverse, this is not being, this is the opposite of that. It's kind of funny because she feels like Taylor Swift is the opposite of this Page of Pentacles energy, meaning that I think sometimes Lana views herself as a Page of Pentacles, even though she's definitely very successful. But yeah, she looks at Taylor as like really far advanced, like very advanced monetarily. I think we all know that. How else does she view Taylor? And then we're going to move on to her future. The High Priestess. Okay. I like that we didn't get any negative cards. I mean, this is really just kind of a matter of fact way of viewing someone. She views Taylor as someone who has overcome a lot and someone who is successful. She's, gone from being someone who was starting off, you know, at the very beginning as a child in the industry as a page of pentacles and now, has reversed that. She is now on top of the world. And then the high priestess is extremely intuitive, extremely advanced. Also, with Lana being a Scorpio rising, she has a lot of intense energy about her. And she's also very intuitive. So with Taylor also being Scorpio rising, some people speculate that she's a Capricorn rising. I am of the camp that believes she's Scorpio rising. She can see her. She really gets her and understands Taylor's energy. And she can like see into her in a way that maybe other people don't. So yeah, she sees her as an intuitive, powerful being. And I think that this is very positive. So overall, I think that it was just kind of the feeling of disappointment. I don't think that it has anything to do with Taylor, that's that. So there we go. All right. Last but not least, the possible spicy tea is the whole situation with Olivia Rodrigo and Taylor Swift. Now, Taylor was up and dancing to Olivia's song, but she also dances to pretty much every song and I think supports everybody at the award shows. I think that it's almost like that situation where it would have been weird if she didn't. So maybe she felt pressured. But let's see. Have she and Olivia, been able to move past the whole situation with Olivia having to credit Taylor retroactively on her songs? Or was there a little bit of weirdness between them? Let's just see. Okay. What is the energy, allegedly for entertainment purposes? What is the energy that Olivia Rodrigo has towards Taylor Swift right now? How did she feel? Let's just say this actually. How did Olivia Rodrigo feel about Taylor Swift while she was at the Grammys? How did Olivia Rodrigo feel while she was at the Grammys in regards to Taylor Swift? Why do we keep getting the Page of Pentacles? What? I need a clarifier for that. That doesn't make any sense. Comment below if you guys are getting an intuitive hit on that, because I would be curious to know your opinions. I think that is bizarre. Clarifying. Oh, got two that came out. Okay. Oh, never mind. Ooh, okay. Wow. Well, when the tarot tea is just hitting it right on the head. This is wild, guys. I have goosebumps all over. Five of Pentacles and the Tower card. Oh my God. So the Page of Pentacles, this is not how she views Taylor. This is how she views herself in relation to Taylor. So I was like, how did she feel? Well, she feels in comparison to Taylor like she is the Page of Pentacles, someone who, in comparison to Taylor Swift, doesn't have as much money, as much success, isn't at the level that Taylor is at, which makes sense, but also because, she's not as far along in her career as Taylor. But she feels like a small, like a kind of like a small fry or something compared to Taylor. Like she doesn't feel as big or whatever, even though arguably she's also just a superstar. And the reason for that, the reason that she feels like the Page of Pentacles next to Taylor Swift is because she has felt left out in the cold. Five of Pentacles. She has felt left out in the cold by Taylor, allegedly. She also feels left out in the cold financially, when it comes to like the money that she's made. I definitely think that this is holding on to the feeling of not wanting to give up certain royalties to Taylor, which she has had to do because of that song. Yeah, it's just this is sad. She definitely feels like she's been left out in the cold by Taylor and also in some ways by the situation. She was kind of let down by the fact that she has to give so much of the royalties from, her songs, a couple of her songs to Taylor. So that's like financial loss. And then the Tower card, this is like she's still kind of reeling from the phone call that she received, it basically informing her that, although she had a good rapport with Taylor, that her camp is going to need a percentage of the royalties from the songs that, she wrote that sound like Taylor's songs, allegedly. So she couldn't help but think of the Tower moment. She couldn't help but think of the situation between them, the way that she felt left out in the cold by Taylor. And there was a feeling of not as good or not as successful. That is really, really sad. I hate that she was feeling that in that moment. How did Taylor feel towards Olivia in that moment? How does Taylor feel towards Olivia Rodrigo? And if you guys have seen the podcast episode I did where I looked at their birth charts, I really did try to be as neutral as possible and tell the whole situation from both perspectives. And I do think that the two of them have like a soul contract to learn a lesson together. Honestly, check that out if you haven't. That video, I go really deep into it and it makes more sense. So I won't go into it here, but there's definitely a soul contract that keeps being reinforced every time I read on them. So I think they touch each other's like most sensitive growth points. How did Taylor feel, and how did she view Olivia? How did she feel in relation to Olivia when she saw her at the Grammys? Her true feelings, Taylor's true feelings. Queen of Pentacles. Oh my God, you guys, we got the Page of Pentacles versus the Queen of Pentacles. That's wild. I am in shock. Okay, so my God. So she feels like the Queen of Pentacles in regard to, in relation to Olivia Rodrigo. She feels like she came out on top. She feels like she won. When she looks at her, she feels, kind of above her in a way too, allegedly for entertainment purposes. She definitely sees herself as the queen. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. And how does, anything else, any other details on how she views the situation? I think that's why Taylor felt confident and comfortable, singing and having fun, because I don't think that she really cares about what happened. I think that, in her mind, she felt like Olivia had taken too many liberties with her songs, and with the inspiration for the songs, she felt like the wrong has been righted by, her team getting compensation, making sure that Taylor got her due compensation. So she feels like over and done with it. It's cool. We're good. I'm not mad at you. Do you know what I mean? She has a completely opposite perspective. She's like, I'm the Queen of Pentacles and I feel good. Cool. Thanks. I got the money that I deserved. This is really interesting. She sees it from a completely different side. Any other details about that? Any other details about Taylor's relationship with Olivia from Taylor's perspective? This is juicy. The Hanged Man. Okay, wow. She also feels a little bit on the fence about the situation. Not really knowing what to think, kind of unsure of, where to go from here. And what's interesting is that we saw all of those, posts a few years ago from Taylor and from Olivia about each other being really kind in the press. And Olivia was gushing about Taylor in the past. And we have heard nothing since, ever since everything went down and Taylor's team kind of went after royalties and all of that from Olivia's songs that were inspired by Taylor a little bit too much, allegedly. Olivia hasn't said a word about Taylor and vice versa in the press, other than to say things like, well, that's funny that people think vampires about her, and very in a thinly veiled way, sort of deny it, but not really. So yeah, Hanged Man energy between them, unfinished business, a feeling like, I don't know what to say. It's just kind of weird. So Taylor definitely picks up on that energy. Anything else? Oh, interesting. The Lover's card. Now, this doesn't have to be romantic. The Lover's card can also just talk about a connection where there was once love. In this case, at one time, yeah, there was a great connection. They did see things the same way. They were really positive. There was a friendship there. There was a love of the same things. There was a real camaraderie. And that was the past, though. That's kind of sad. Okay, in the future, will they ever reconcile, have a conversation, get on the same page? Just curious. Will we see things change between them in the future? Justice, the scales of justice. Yes, I think we will. So let me get one more. Let me get one more clarifier. So somehow they will find a like just resolution to whatever conflict they've been experiencing. Justice. They'll balance out their energy. Let's see. Any more information about how this justice will come about? Oh, two cards. I'm going to take them both. Wow. Okay. Eight of Pentacles. This is putting in hard work and potentially collaborating. Wow, that would be amazing. And then Seven of Cups is having decisions to make, having a lot of choices. Can kind of go either way. Five of Swords. Okay, this is bizarre. So here's what we as the tarot shifts. In the future, there could be a just resolution of sorts between them. And what the next cards that came out together are talking about, it's like, this is like saying, but Seven of Cups, there are a lot of choices that need to be made in order for justice to be served in the situation, for them to feel like they both got their justice. And that all depends on Eight of Pentacles, the work they put into it. But they have a decision here. It's like free will. This is talking about how, the rest is still unwritten, like that Natasha Bedingfield song. So yeah, this is really talking about how the energy is, it's unstable, it's not determined. Both of them are kind of in a place where this Hanged Man energy might be, reflecting how they both feel. And no one has really made a decision yet, even energetically, to commit to fixing it. But there is the potential for justice there. There is the potential for them to balance out the situation and both feel good about it. That depends on choices that they make, and that depends on whether or not they want to work together. This is a potential, like out there in the ether, for a collaboration in the future, and that would make things right. Now, we don't see Taylor collaborate a lot with people. That would be a really big deal if they did collaborate together. And there's the potential for that. Now, also to go along with that Seven of Cups of choices, we got this Five of Swords. So the only thing that could really stand in their way would be this Five of Swords energy of deception. So there's still a lot of energy to work out between them. It's a heavy soul contract. Watch that other video I did on them if you guys want to dive into that. This is not surprising. There's a lot of energy still there. And there's a lot of feelings of betrayal still there. So it would be a real choice that both would have to make to, come back together. But there is the potential of that. There is the potential. So, all right, we're going to leave it at that. That was a little wild. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And now we know about what really happened, allegedly, at the Grammys. All right. I love you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. I love to see you guys here. It's so much fun building the community. Join one of our live streams if you haven't yet. And, just hang out with our little T fam. We have a good time over here. All right, you guys. See you soon.